Hello and welcome to Act 2 of Vanquish. In this part we're going to be taking on the first two missions of Act 2, which are River and Rapids, and those names both feel like the sort of thing they just pulled out of their arse. But before that we've got another one of these dawdle around, wait for the team to all meet up in the elevator and they'll take their time and now we could press the button. So that's the sort of thing that it's only a minor nitpick, but could you not just do that and then have the codec call as we go up the lift? Would that not have made more sense than making us dawdle around and wait and then start the lift and wait while we're on the lift? Like, just kill two birds with one stone. Or we just get yet another codec call. Like, that shut me up. But yeah, this is something that the Gaming Brit actually did a pretty good video on a little while ago. But there's this trend in games of sort of interrupting gameplay just for periods of time here and there where it's not quite a cutscene and it's not quite gameplay, it's just sort of you holding forward and walking while there's characters talking to you, or there's like plot dump or some kind of exposition. And yeah, it's something that I think could be handled much better. Like, I do get the idea of not wanting to just like spam loads of cutscenes, and the reason for that is because I think after a while you would get bored of doing nothing. Like, this is a game, this isn't a film, and I know that's hysterical coming from me, the sort of person who likes games like Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, Until Dawn, you know, the kind of games where the entire thing is cutscenes with you occasionally pressing QuickTime event buttons. But outside of that, I think for a kind of game where it's like Vanquish is here and it's a very gameplay oriented game, I get why they wouldn't want to have too many just standard cutscenes, because it'd be like, okay, there's this action here and you're not letting us have the action, instead you're making us watch a cutscene. And you notice that the cutscenes tend to go by very quickly here. It's only really the cutscenes with like the President or Zaitsev that take a while. Most of the other ones, it's just like transitional cutscenes with like Sam and Burns and the squad just doing their shit for like a few seconds at a time, maybe a minute. Like, outside of that, it's, you know, it's the cutscenes go by very quickly, and I get why they did that. But the compromise of having these codec sections where you're just walking forward and there's a screen filter on, and that is literally the gameplay for that period of time, that kind of has the same effect of just throwing loads of cutscenes at us. Because while, yeah, we are still in the gameplay on a technicality, it's not really gameplay. Like, if they want to do this info dump on us, I still think, like, yeah, it might get a bit distracting, but I would rather be at least shooting some dudes. Maybe a sort of half-baked area, like maybe you go into a room full of dudes and you're shooting them while you're getting the information fed to you. At least seem like you're doing something. And the game does do this in several portions. Like, you do see parts where the squad are walking along and you get them just talking to each other. And there's this voice filter that quite amuses me, especially when it's Elena talking to you. When you go into the AR mode, like this mode here, and her voice gets really distorted. Like, it does that no matter who's talking to you, but it sounds really obvious on Elena's voice for some reason. Like, she sounds really robotic. Not quite GLaDOS sort of robotic, but that sort of direction. And it is just a side effect of artificially slowing someone's voice down. Like, I get that, and I get that that's what they're going for, but, you know, it just sounds a bit goofy to me. Now, this area, I don't know why this space area is built the way it is. Like, the conveyor belts are clearly for moving cargo or just moving stock. You can see all the boxes there, which are what we're using to hide behind. There are shields. But the way it's laid out, the fact that there's these different alternating sections, like, what? Why would they have that zigzag down the middle? Wouldn't you want your cargo belt to just be as direct and to the point as possible? You want this sort of crisscross area? I don't know, it just seems a bit redundant to me. And yes, I am looking way too far into level design, creative artistic license here, but it's a video game. I'm shooting dudes. I've got to come up with some bullshit for the time. That's sort of what I do. I do remember fucking up a couple of times in this. Like, that wasn't the reason for that crossfade at the start. That was just one recording session to another. But when I played this the first time, I did have a few points where I wasn't being careful because I was using the conveyor belt to boost my speed along and wasn't being as careful as I should have been. And then there's also this section here where we've got some big fuckers showing up, and they are quite intense. These guys can hit really hard if you're not paying attention, so you want to be on the move where you can be. You don't want, you know, to get the huge projectile shots that knock you into the red, because the red is when you're really vulnerable. But there is something satisfying about knocking down the Walker mech things. Because, you know, that's the guy's pride and joy. That guy, he's got that and that's his little lookout, but no, it does fuck all. And it's surprising me how easily that goes down, really. Like, they look like the Walker mech I'm talking about. They look like they have some pretty solid joints on them. But if you just use the heavy machine gun and just shoot at the right sweet spot, then it's only really a few handfuls of shots. Kick that fucker in the nuts. I love that when you got the QTE prompts, just spin the analog stick around. And that is a bad habit I get into. The main strategy of this game to make sure you get full benefit of the AR system is when you're in AR to just quickly come out of it before you overheat. You want to time yourself and you want to pay attention to that at all times. But if you know me and my gameplay skills, I tend not to be good at timing. And I also tend to get distracted. Also, fuck them huge shots because I think they're like almost one hit kill. I think they're instantly in the red. But yeah, what you want to do, you want to time yourself so you come out of your AR just before it hits. So that way you get the full benefit of all the time from the AR. And not doing that what I just did, where I'm now in a inhibited state until my things had a chance to recharge. Because if you overheat, then it takes way longer to recharge than it would otherwise. If you're playing this game efficiently, what you want to do is you want to get to the minimum point, come out of it, then it quickly recharges so you can just roll back over and you're back into the AR and you got nothing to worry about really. But alas, I'm not good at video games.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
Be a little bit more careful next time. Got it, Elena?
Sorry.
Damn flies must be looking to get swatted. Bravo, time to recycle these tin cans.
Now, it's time for one hell of a set piece for the level. Now we're on the second of the missions we're doing in this part, Rapids. Because this is the first of the train areas. And while it may be very simple gameplay wise, because we don't even have the rolling around, we just have the guys come up to us and we swat them, and that's that. Some of the things this train can do, some of the way this track is laid out, really does keep you on your toes when you're aiming, when you're shooting, when you're looking out for where the bad guys are. But it's useful how there's all this different ammunition stocked on here, just stuff we need as well. We got some AR, we got some rocket launcher rockets, and we also, I think we got some heavy machine gun ammunition as well, which is useful. We've got the full house. I just love that expression, out fucking standing. That is admittedly something I'm very guilty of when I speak. Just slipping the word fuck into a sentence for no reason, even interrupting words. It's something that I don't necessarily go out of my way to do. It's just a bit of a habit, like a bit of a tick when I talk, like out fucking standing. That's fucking great, you know. I know it sounds like edgy teenager talk, but that's just how I talk. I'm a bit of a, you know, foul mouth sometimes. But what it does make me think of is the game I've been playing quite recently that I got on the Steam sale, which is Typing of the Dead Overkill, which is a typing game adaptation of the House of the Dead Overkill, which was the Wii game. And the dialogue in that is fucking hysterical, because they get the word fuck or fucking into like every fucking line of dialogue. That one was intentional, by the way. And it's just amazing, because you know they're doing it on purpose. And it's not even just like a thing like there's one character who has an overly foul mouth, because like there's admittedly one of the main guys is more so than the others, but all the characters will try and slip an F-bomb into every sentence if they can. And I kind of have an appreciation for when that stuff's done, not ironically, but just intentionally, just to kind of play it up. Although with House of the Dead, that probably is ironic. I know they know exactly what they're doing with that game. That's another game I might cover on the channel at some point, actually, because it's just absolutely hysterical. But yeah, this is what I mean about the trains being a really cool set piece, because they're gonna keep switching which angle they're shooting at us from. And so that means a train level in itself would be quite a boring level, because you're just going along and you just got to shoot them. But when the other trains are like darting around you, like you've even got this anti-grav shit going on, you can't just stay still in one place. If you do that, you're going to get shot at, because what was your safe point once is suddenly now not your safe point. And so you're kind of fucked if you just stay put. So not only do you have to pay attention to where they are, but you've also got to keep moving around your part of the train. Although the one little gripe I do have, and this is a very minor gripe, but it's still there, is that sometimes it does become a bit much to pay attention to. And that I mean in terms of the stuff on your platform, because you want to ideally boost around as they start moving. The thing there is sometimes you find that you're just boosting into a wall, boosting into a little bit of cover, and you just get that sort of spot of shit, I look dumb. But yeah, that is only a minor issue, that's no biggie. If I recall correctly, I am going to cut this part really close. Yeah, I've got 15 seconds to take out this big guy. Let's rocket him. I don't think I've ever failed that. I think on my first playthrough I got it well in good time, but in this one I was sort of really like at the razor's edge. I would assume if you don't make it in time, you die, because it looks like there's going to be a collision if you're not careful or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't failed that one. I failed basically everything else in the game, particularly on my first playthrough, but not this. No, there's more bosses that I had a hell of a time on my first playthrough with, which I'll talk about when we get there. Particularly one in, if I recall correctly, Act 4. There's another boss which that kind of fucks you over more from the arena than the actual boss itself, but we've got a long way to go. We've got a lot of this game to cover.
Stay frosty. I want you ready to shoot if you see so much as a fucking Roomba.
You call for evac?
The call's in, but it's gonna take some time.
You'd think they'd come running for a little bird like you, Burns.
Oh snap. I like the character dynamic of how Sam and Burns are kind of incredibly vitriolic towards each other, and yeah, Burns is a dick, but it gives Sam the opportunity to have them little snarky comebacks to him. But yeah, the rocket launcher, it's not a weapon I use overly, and that's purely ammunition. Even powered up, you only get 3 slots for it. But when you do use it, particularly for the overhead flying enemies, it is really useful. It's useful to be able to just take out such a significant portion of their health in one fell swoop. But this is a point where we're fighting off guys until our support come in. But yeah, to carry on with my little spiel from last part, like summing up what's happening in the story so far, we've established who the protagonists and antagonists are, but what the antagonists are actually doing, the Order of the Russian Star. To set the scene, what had happened before they sort of shown up on the scene is the US had established this space colony called Providence, and that is just, you know, up there in space. It's got loads of power to it. It's a good point for terrorists to hijack and use for their own gain, and that's exactly what happened, because like it's fitted with this massive energy array thing. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I'm not a sciencey person and I don't understand much. But it's originally built to collect energy, transmit it to Earth. I'm kind of summarising here from a summary that I'd read online, I think from TV tropes. But yeah, so there's this big space colony that the US own, and that's been taken over by the Order of the Russian Star, who are the terrorist group of overtaking Russia. And they're trying to now repeat the San Francisco incident with other areas of the world. And, you know, that's not a good thing. That's really not a good thing. We can't sort of have other areas of the world being blown up just like San Fran was, because that's how terrorists win. You know, they don't have too much power, they win. And so the entire point in this game is to intervene with that, intercept with what the Order of the Russian Star are trying to do with the space colony. But this is a cool little sequence.
You're last year's model.
Fuck you.
Control of this thing.
Whenever you're ready, Sam.
Burns! We'll be fine. Keep moving forward.
Hold on. Coming after you.
Shit.
Burns!
Oh no!
Shit.
My thoughts exactly, Sam. So, yeah, it looks like Burns might be a bit fucked up. And this is a pretty unique set piece, really, because not only are we being moved along, but we've now got control over the turrets of this thing that we're riding on. And granted, the camera really doesn't do you any favours. I do appreciate the way that it shows the back of the little cart thing as semi-transparent or translucent, so that we can still see where Sam is, but still, you know, it gets a little bit annoying when you've just got this huge orangey block in front of your face the whole time.
We've got a situation ahead. You DARPA folk need to fall back.
Hey, Elena.
I should lower
I fucking love that. And yes, there is a J Macintosh. Let's hope he doesn't go full Macintosh here, because, yeah, we don't need that. But I do like that about Sam's character, the fact that he is playing into the tough action protagonist trope of he's the badass, he just wants to dive straight into the action, it's not safe, it's stupid, but he's going to do it anyway because he wants to look cool, he's the protagonist, he may as well take advantage of all the screen time he's getting. And yeah, like, I know it is very by the numbers, cool, tough guy, but I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I love badass, I love amazing, awesome, all that good shit.
Slowing now.
Oh, I don't want to slow down, gotta go fast. Whoop. Oh god. Yeah, it's a shame that once we get outside of the little tunnel section that there ends up not being much happening. You're just sort of waiting for it to get to the destination after that, but yeah.
I'm increasing velocity.
Got it.
Oh, look, it's another Argus mech. Anyone want to take a guess what we're going to be fighting in the next part?
Oh, fuck me.
Bail out!
Ah, shit.
Sam! Oh god!
Not gonna live that one down.
Well, at least you're alive.
Hey, hey, not so loud. I already feel like a drum course beating on my skull. Where do I need to go?
You're going to have to head to the airport.
I'm sure our robot friend will be happy to see me again.
Sorry, I don't see any way around it.
Then off I go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time where we'll be continuing with Act 2.